Okay, so I first start off by brightening my face, and I'm using the Makeup Forever Step 1 Skin Equalizer Primer in Radiant. I love this stuff, you guys. I think it does what it says. It really brightens your face. It brings like that natural glow from within forward, and I'm so happy I picked this up because it really does make a difference in my overall finish of my makeup. And then I go ahead and just color correct with the, the primer for redness. And this is the same Makeup Forever Step 1 Skin Equalizer series. I think I would love their whole entire series, so I feel like I should go back and pick up a couple more primers from them just to try out and see if it really does, kind of make a difference in your makeup. I was really blown away by this when I first bought it, the redness correcting primer. And when I bought the Radiant primer, I was just like, wow. So I have a feeling I will love the other primers that they have as well in that whole series. Then I go ahead and just use the Fit Me Dewy and Smooth Foundation. And this is the first time I'm using it. And I really do like this as an everyday foundation, guys. It does really give that dewiness to your face. And since I am super oily, I do have to make sure I prep and I mattify after I apply this, because if not, then I will look like an oily mess. And even though I'm oily, I'm not scared to use dewy products. I feel like it just kind of really enhances that. But if you know how to control your oiliness, you can definitely use any product. And then I go in and I conceal, and I'm using the Naked Concealer, and this is, I believe, in the color Fair Light or Fair Neutral. I'm not sure. I'll have it linked down below, but I love this concealer as well. This is the first time I'm using this concealer. I have not used it before, and I don't know why. I think because I was just thrown off by how everyone kept saying it's a very thin consistency, and I like my concealers to be a little bit thicker. But I love this as an everyday concealer, and I have been using it as an everyday concealer since this video. I actually ended up picking up the shade a shade darker in this, and I believe it's like the light neutral, just because that is a better everyday concealer. I feel like this Fair Light or whatever, Fair Neutral, is a great highlighting concealer. So yeah, and then I'm going to do a little bit of nose contouring. I don't get too crazy with my nose contouring. I mainly just do this to kind of bring back the shadow and natural depth in my face. I feel like when you highlight and put your foundation on, you kind of lose your nose, so I kind of just want to bring it back and show that, hey, I actually do have a nose. So that's what I am doing here. And I'm using the MAC Match Master Stick Concealer in the darkest shade they have, which is 9.0, and I absolutely love that concealer. And then I go in with my setting powder for underneath my eyes. I'm so upset because I didn't show a clip of this, but this is also a new product I'm using. It's the Air Spun Loose Setting Powder. And I love that powder, you guys. It has quickly become my favorite setting powder. I love it more than my Laura Mercier setting powder, and that says a lot because my Laura Mercier one was like my ride or die. And then I go in and do my eyes, and I'm using the Kat Von D Shade and Light eye palette, and I'm using the lightest shade in that palette to kind of just set my eyelids. I do use my concealer as a primer for my eyelids, so I just like to set it before I go in with all my other shades. And for the pretty much main look of this whole everyday look, I'm using the Morphe 35K palette. And I really like this palette, and I forgot I had it because I am like a compulsive eyeshadow palette buyer, that I buy so many palettes and I use them for like the first couple weeks, month if it's lucky, and then I just kind of forget about it and go into my next palette. But yeah, so I'm just using this one, and I'm using the lightest shade as my eyelid base color. When I do everyday looks, I tend to use maybe 3 to 4 shades the most, and that is including the base shadow. So then I kind of just use my base shadow, and then I use my first transition color, and then I use my eyelid color. And these are always mattes. I always use mattes for like my everyday look because I feel like that's just what I like in my everyday look. And then I go in with that darker shade, and I kind of just focus this in my crease and my outer corner area. A lot of people probably may think this is a lot for an everyday look, but honestly, this is what works for me, and this is what I like. I feel like by adding that darker shade to my crease outer corner area, it just kind of helps me look more awake and it just brings that depth that I like. And I do like my eyes to look, you know, obviously bigger, so I feel like this really just all helps and kind of gives me that finished look that I am looking for. And then I kind of just go back and touch up where I need to. This look literally takes me probably about 10 minutes the most, because I kind of already know what I'm doing, and it's such a normal thing for me to do since I do it every day. I don't necessarily use the same palettes every day, but I use the same type of color and steps to create my everyday look. And then I kind of just hit the corner of my eye with that same darker color I did with my crease and outer corner, just to kind of lift my eye. And then I go ahead and I just use the same colors that I use for my upper eye on my lower lash line. I have to always do something to my lower lash line just because I feel like it really evens out my eyes and it helps with making them look a little bit more open. So that is what I do there. And then I'm using this eyeliner, and this is by L'Oreal, and I don't remember the name of it specifically, but I do really like this eyeliner. I feel like it works better for my eyelids. So my eyelids are not the smoothest eyelids. I don't want to say that they're wrinkly, but let's just be real, they are. It's very difficult for me to apply liner, especially with a liner that has a tip that is too too wiggly, or it moves too much. I can't work, it doesn't work for me. I have to do a lot to apply my liner, and that's why I wanted to show you guys how I apply my liner. I mean, whether I use an ink liner or a gel liner, I just want to show you guys the technique that I use, since it is a little bit difficult for me to apply. And then I go in and just deepen the outer and crease area of my eye. I like to do this after I apply my liner, just to kind of see what needs a little bit more touch up. And then I go and I apply my Lorac Fiber mascara. I love this mascara. I need to buy another one though, because this is a sample one I've had for like months and it's like already gone. And then I go in with my L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black mascara. This is my holy grail mascara. As you guys all know, I use it all the time. And then I go in with my bottom mascara for my bottom lash lines, and this is my favorite bottom lash line mascara. I've tried using this on my top lashes, but it just doesn't work as well as it does on my bottom, so I go ahead and just keep it for my lower lash line. And then I go in and just add a little bit more volume, and I like to use the Better Than Sex mascara. And then of course I'm using my LA Colors mineral powder, and I love this stuff to just add as an extra highlighting powder to my face. I know most people use setting powders to kind of give that highlighting finish, but I like to go in with just an extra step, just because this is a look I like and this is what I go for. And then I use the LA Colors mineral powder in a darker shade to just bronze my face. I don't really like this darker shade as my bronzer as much as I like the highlighting one. I feel like I can do better with other bronzing, bronzers out there, but it is great because it is super cheap. And then I go in with the Butter Bronzer by Physicians Formula, and I love this bronzer. This is my everyday bronzer. Even if I'm contouring, I'm going to go back and bronze with this stuff, because not only does it smell amazing, but it just has such a great look and finish, and I just love it. And then I go in with my favorite highlighting kit, and this is the Be Bella Glow Dust Palette. And I shouldn't say my favorite highlighting kit because I feel like I have so many, but this is my favorite highlighting kit right now. This is all I'm using. I use this for my everyday look. I use it for if I'm going out. I just love this kit, and I haven't really messed with any of the colors besides the two lightest ones, but I feel like I am going to kind of just play around more with those to see what kind of looks I can get. And then I'm going in with my Kat Von D liquid lipstick, and this is the color Bow and Arrow. You guys, this is my favorite everyday liquid lipstick color. I have not found a color like this from anyone else, and I just love it. So yeah, that is the finished look, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video and you learned a trick or two. And yeah, I would love to hear your guys' comments and thoughts down below. Until next time, guys, thanks for watching.